Hello.
Okay,
We're back to talking.
Life has been bonkers over here.
It has been pretty.
Has it been bonkers?
Yeah.
So we just need to catch up. Guys, it is getting lit in the LaBrant family household.
I guess that's one way.
And by lit, I mean, if you are thinking about having 5 kids, think again.
Okay.
I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying make sure you're really thinking this through.
5 kids is a lot of kids.
We were just talking that.
I feel bad saying this because 4 kids is still a lot of kids, but I didn't feel like 4 kids was a lot on me, and I feel like 5 kids, I'm finally like, oh, I get stressed out a little bit.
Everybody has their limit that you know, and it's all situational.
Like, yeah, more so in the fact of like not. It's more so like I feel like right now in this moment I can't like go to a pool with all the children by myself, which I'm not used to that. I feel like I can go anywhere by myself with all of my kids.
I'll talk as a husband. Savannah is super mom. Like everything that you guys see on whatever.
Well, I don't even mean it like that, but I'm not I don't get stressed out very easily.
Yeah.
So I thrive on chaos and I do really well with chaos. But I personally feel like if I were to go to the pool with all 5 kids right now, I would probably be a little stressed out that like something was going to happen.
I mean, you do have.
There's just a lot of.
You do have
kids.
an 11-year-old who's relatively easy, but then you got 5, 3, 2, newborn
baby.
Like just turned 2, so it's just it's a lot right now, and that's totally fine. We love it. So like anything that you hear saying, like we would not trade this season of life for anything.
Oh, not at all. So it's just 5 kids, is a lot of kids.
But we will admittedly say that it feels like a lot.
Yeah. And
there are no breaks whatsoever.
It's fun though. It's fun 99% of the time, but there is that 1% where we're like, whew.
Have you seen Cheaper by the Dozen? I'm assuming that everyone here has seen Cheaper by the Dozen. I was thinking about that the other day. Like I was like holding a kid, another kid's coming up to me. I'm seeing like a kid like ride the bike down, and
but we're also in the newborn stage where I feel like once he's like 4 or 5 months older, we're gonna be okay.
Savannah thinks it's gonna get.
I do because he's just like so fragile. He's so fragile right now.
I think Well, he's gonna. Whenever he gets mobile, it gets harder.
But not really, because all the other kids are a little bit older too.
I guess so.
You know, like Sunday's still so tiny.
I guess so. We're saying that this has got to be the thick of it. Like, in every season, you know, in everyone's life, at some point in your life, you were in the thick of it. Yeah. Maybe several times, but we were saying, like, remember we look back 20 years from now, like, what was the hardest point with raising our kids?
This is probably it.
Physically, it's now, because we're just. Yeah. There's no breaks. I'm sure mentally and emotionally, whenever they're teenagers, that's going to not be fun.
Yeah. But I love it so much, and if he wanted another kid, I'd probably have another. That's how crazy I am.
Yeah. So, life's chaotic, which I see some questions in some of your guys' comments and other things, just like why we don't film as much anymore. I know we've kind of addressed it, but we documented the baby being born, and we were kind of like posting a little bit more. But
I think too, we don't have help at all. Like we don't have babysitting help, and I think a lot of people don't realize that too, because probably just assume that we do, but we don't have any help with the kids. So I feel like for us to be vlogging all the time would just be like so stressful. All
of my family, I have a ton of really great family, but they're all in Florida.
Yeah.
And we're here in Tennessee.
We have my mom, who is helpful, but she's just a single grandma and also has a life. So she's as helpful as she can be, especially just with Everly and dance stuff, because that's alone is a lot.
And we're navigating that. We just had like family discussions, so we're just kind of like, whenever we turn the camera on, sometimes we have like an agenda of like what we're gonna say, and sometimes it's just like we're gonna let it roll and catch up with you guys. And like Everly's, she's starting a new dance season, which is gonna be on the dance team, and she loves it. And we want to not encourage her, but support whatever she's doing, and always encourage her in that way.
This past year, she didn't do a dance team. She did still dance and was dancing with the team and doing all the classes, and she was competing her solos, doing all the same stuff, but she wasn't technically on the team doing the group routine. So it was like a lot of free time for us as a family and her, and she liked it for the year, but now she's ready to go back to full force team. So it's gonna be a big change for us.
So we're like, oh man, 5 kids, full force team, we're building a house.
Yeah.
Which, from what I hear, and from people who have built a home from scratch, they say that building a house puts more pressure on a marriage and on a family.
Really?
Yeah, than like almost anything.
I don't think for us, for the fact that we both don't really care about details too much, and we both agree on everything in the house.
I agree with that, and that's why we went for this. But I remember like a lot of my like mentors and people in my life were like, just beware, like building a home is supposedly like the most stressful and like
hey, we'll see.
Separating thing.
We'll see.
Like if you can build a house together and like still love each other after.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, well, we're doing that on top of just welcoming a 5th baby, letting Everly go like full force into and just with allowing Everly to do that. It's just very time dependent, right? There's a lot of dropping off and picking up. Anybody who has like very active kids and things.
Yeah.
And
we only have one kid over here. We only have one kid that's like really in activities. Like Posey just started doing gymnastics, so that's like once a week for an hour. Zealand does soccer once a week for an hour, but it's nothing like Everly is full force in this dance world.
Yeah, but
we'll report back how we're doing after the house is built.
But we are still so in love. I mean, like, Savannah, can you just tell people how in love we are?
After you tell people how in love you are with me, then
I am so in love with my wife that it's Sunday. We got home from church, and I was trying to just like kiss her for hours on end. What? I was, and until I eventually somehow convinced you to kiss me back, which was one of the best days of my life.
Okay. Acting like we don't ever kiss.
No, kiss is code.
Oh, got it.
Kiss is code.
Acting like we don't ever kiss.
Well, we got our kids out here. We have a date night coming up, and we had the babysitter come an hour early so we could film this.
How's my makeup?
Beautiful, per usual, honey. Per usual, but
it's so like crazy right now.
It is. We got to actually get some lights. We are still homeschooling our kids. That was another thing that I was going to lead into. Is we are still homeschooling our kids. We're still intending to homeschool our kids, which has been, I feel like, a major blessing in our life.
I love homeschooling. It's so awesome.
Even just like again, time that we're talking about with Everly, because she's going to be gone more dancing.
Yeah.
Which I personally don't love. I don't love the idea of my kid.
I don't love it either.
Being gone that much.
Yeah.
Or any of my kids.
To elaborate on that though, is she was doing this prior to us slowing down here in Tennessee.
This is what she's always done.
This is what she's always done. So for us, it's like, and she loves it so much, and she's so good at it. This is what she loves doing. So for me, it's like, I can't pull the reins on it when it's something that she's already so into. If she were 5 or 6, I feel like I could.
Yeah.
I
would actually be really curious.
But she's already 11 and in it.
Mm-hmm. I know we have like a lot of families that follow us, and at this point we've kind of built a community of very like-minded families who have a similar values and culture. So I'd actually be curious, your guys' inputs, if you have kids, and I'll actually read these comments down below. It's like, if you have kids, or if you've raised kids, or if you're going through this too, who are in activities. This is kind of the only thing that me and Savannah, like, we don't fight about it, but we just like, it's a constant conversation of like
we've had arguments about it. Yeah, not fights, but we definitely have had arguments about
heavy discussions.
Just being super honest, because it's something that's just a lot. But I mean, and to explain to them too, just so they don't think it's like barely anything. I mean, it's 4 days a week, full 4 days a week. You know, like 3 to 9,
and several weekends of the year. I mean, a lot of weekends.
Like 8 to 9 full weekends of the year that are completely taken up Friday to Sunday.
What gets me is the dance nationals is,
and it's expensive.
It's 10 days. Usually in Vegas, if not Vegas, somewhere equally or even more expensive.
Over the 4th of July.
Over the 4th of July.
Which is like his all-time favorite holiday.
I want to be on the beach with my kids. You know, I don't want to be at a dance convention and the kids always get super COVID 2.0.
It's very sick.
They get so sick because you're in the congested area with it's just like, and it's so expensive.
So expensive because you're traveling to go to all the dance competitions.
Any dance family knows exactly what we're talking about. If you're not, I know that other activities have certain things. So... And
but I want to go back.
This wasn't the point of the conversation.
She loves it, and we are going to let her do it because she loves it so much, and we would not hold her back from doing what she loves.
And also,
it's just hard for us because we're trying to slow down right now, and then we still have that going, and we're like, well, that's not slowing down.
Well, and I need to say, I know I might sound like the bad guy. It's not just Everly and her dance. It's like whatever my kids do. I just want to find that healthy balance of like what is enough to like support them so that they can get good at it and go as far as they can, where also it doesn't become the number one priority in our life. And that's what we always are trying to discuss. Like, okay, let's let her do this, but how can we balance this with like life? Because it's already so hard to balance life as is. So we're gonna figure that out, right? We don't have an answer. So if you guys have things, comment below. Leading into that, I think we're done having kids. I mean,
this is the first time where I'm like very close to saying I'm 100% done. I always have like a little inkling in the back of my mind whenever I say that. So it makes me sad. But I think I'm done.
We might and likely will adopt down the road.
I would love to adopt. So I know that if I want him to get more on board for adopting.
You guys hear that out there?
The children. If I want him to get more on board for adopting, that I need to be done having kids.
God has blessed us with so much, the means and just the love to raise kids, and we love the season of life so much. It's chaotic and it's a lot. And with me, it's not that like I don't want another kid. It's that the 5 kids that I have, I love them all so much. I know that you do too. You have the same perspective. Your capacity is just more than mine. Where I feel like I am maxed out. Where like I whenever we had 4 kids, I was like, I can love these 4 kids well, and I'm pretty sure I can do a 5th. We had the 5th, and I'm like, okay, I can love these 5 kids well. I don't think I can love 6 kids really well. At some point.
Okay, you need to elaborate more on love. He means more. He means more. Give his time to them.
I'm very
their own
intentional.
Special time.
I'm very intentional. Like every week, I make sure that throughout the week, I pull each kid aside and have special time with each kid in certain areas.
He's a great dad.
And just the more kids I have, I mean, because eventually you got to stop at some point. So if it was like 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever number that is, at some point you run out of time in your week.
Yeah.
For me, I've ran out of time with 5 kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I feel. So I just want to be the best dad that I can be, and I feel like I can still do that with 5 kids.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't even want to entertain adopting right now, because I want to make sure that I can love these 5 kids. Really well.
I'm not really entertaining the idea of adopting anytime soon either. I think if we adopt, it'll be
just because we're so young.
But
let's say it's 5 or 10 years on the road. Guys, a reminder: I'm 27.
Yeah.
So that's like, I know we have a lot of kids, but like 10 years, I'm still only 37, and then we have so much more capacity and like. Okay. Is this conversation boring you?
No. I don't know why I just now. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, it's a really deep conversation. It's one that we talk about.
And I thought it would be kind of fun to, I don't know if I've talked about this before, but to adopt a kid in the middle of Posey and Everly, because there's such a big age gap there, and there's not with all the other ones, and I feel like it'd be fun. Like, I talked about that with Everly, and she's like, oh, I would love that so much. Like, she'd be stoked about it just to have someone like even a little bit closer in age to her. Because her and Posey are actually getting really cute and playing so much right now. Like, they have sleepovers all the time, and they
best friends.
Do each other's hair, and they're just really cute. But I think it'd be even more fun for Posey and Everly to have someone right in the middle of them.
It would be.
Another little buddy. So that's my thought on that. But also, I'm open to...
And we're totally open to that. And ultimately,
age.
Our thing is, like, if God wants us to, then he'll make it evident. And if, like, we meet a kid in a situation where it's like, oh, this is the kid that God brought into our life who needs a family, boom.
Yeah.
You know? But I guess not something that, like, in this moment, we're, like, heavily pursuing. Just
yeah.
I got so many little kids.
But all that to say, I think I am done being pregnant.
Wow. You just said that. Are you gonna cry?
I think so.
Savannah's life has consisted of creating humans, and you've done it so well. It almost feels like a marathon finish line. As far as like, we have our 7-year anniversary coming up next week, and like as long as I've known you, you've been pregnant or breastfeeding. Like all of our anniversaries.
I mean, we're still in that because I'm still breastfeeding.
We're still in it, but you not getting pregnant again, it's like
that's weird, right?
You finished strong. I'm saying like life is seasonal, and so I think that like it can be like a sad transition, but I see it as like a very hopeful and exciting transition of like now we can just like really, and not that we weren't in the past, but now we can like really just focus on what we have and moving forward. That being said, guys,
it's a fun season.
I got a vasectomy consultation tomorrow.
He does.
At 2:30 p.m. with my urologist.
He's so excited about it. And this was something we both decided on.
I would have never done this. I would have never pressured Savannah.
Pressured me to get one.
Well, no, not like pressured you to like let me get one. This is just like a conversation that was like, I think we might be done if you feel the same.
No, I do feel the same. I definitely don't want to be pregnant again. Now, God could have other plans, and this vasectomy could happen, and we could still get pregnant again. So
things happen.
All that to say,
but it is a major blessing that we are both extremely fertile.
But we would love to not get pregnant.
We were not trying with Beckham Blue. trying. Obviously, we're doing the thing.
We weren't, but we did want a fifth. That was definitely something that was going to happen.
But the fact that you did get pregnant, even with us not, whenever anybody who's had babies, you can try. It's like, we're trying to get pregnant, right? That was not the case at all with this.
Yeah. Because our last 4 are all under 2 years apart. All of them are under 2 years.
Yeah, we just know we gotta like do something. Otherwise, we're just gonna be like rabbits and just like.
I literally always get pregnant right when I stop breastfeeding. It's like that exact month. They're all right there. So we just need to be super careful, and we're taking steps to not have a 6th baby.
Yeah.
Even though we love babies so much and they're such a blessing, we are done with that stage of life.
Yeah. I'm a little nervous because I'm so young. So I'm like, most guys that I know who get a vasectomy, it's like maybe around like 40, low 40s.
It's really, I wonder what I'm sure that's happened before, but I wonder
like none of my siblings
what their
are even
youngest
married.
guy is to get a vasectomy was.
Like I'm one of 6 kids. None of my siblings are even married.
I know. And you're getting a vasectomy after your 5th baby. That's nuts.
Yeah. We're weird.
Crazy.
We're weird. I don't know why you guys follow us. I know we've touched on this in previous conversations, but we got 18 acres. We got the architectural plans done. We're building a new house. We're going to be moving out of this house. I know it might be a little confusing with some of the things that we talked about, but the plan is to move onto this land. We're building a house that we plan to live on, hopefully forever. I know we kind of talk about like our family farm. We really don't know what our plans are for this. Like we don't have like a... like, oh, we're gonna get a bunch of animals, or we're gonna start growing our own stuff. Like, we don't know, but we just wanted the land to.
Our main goal is to serve people on this land. We want to host anything and everything on this land, and we could host in the house that we're in now, but there are just restrictions that they wouldn't let us build anything in our backyard. And I feel like hosting in the summer would be awful here.
And we have like a lot of parties. We have a lot of events. We have a lot of kids, church things, and
like they won't let us put in a pool.
And like our neighbors, they'll like call and complain.
Aren't very nice. Sorry if you're watching this.
They're like if we have music playing outside, right? We are all about kids riding scooters, just being loud. So we bought land a little right outside the city. Still
where there's no restrictions,
but we can just do whatever the heck we want.
Yeah.
So
and we can build
we're
a pool
excited.
and a place to host people. We want to build a big barn where we can have events for worship nights and marriage, all the things. So that's our main goal. But if we do want to get some animals and some chickens and start doing the farm life, we might be doing that too.
Yeah.
Just something we've been talking about.
Yeah. We've been sharing our life on here for, 8 years now?
Yeah.
On this YouTube channel for 8 years now. And I know that we're posting probably the less that we've ever posted. And there's a ton of reasons for that. The biggest one being we're busy with the kids.
Yeah.
And just kind of focusing on this season of life. But another one being like, just our perspective on things have changed a good bit. Like we don't even let our kids, and this might sound strange, but like we don't let our kids watch YouTube. Like we'll let everybody, like she'll watch Mr. Beast, and like she's a little bit older, so like we'll let her watch certain things. But like I feel like social media has changed as a whole, as opposed to like what it was a while ago, and our perspective on things has changed as a whole. So like as social media has changed, and even our perspective on things has changed. Like
everybody has an Instagram account, but it's on my phone and it's my Instagram account because I'm the one who's posting on it and all the things. But she doesn't have social media. She won't for a while. Yeah, and like the reason for that was like team like expand on like why she has it is like whenever we started creating social media and like making our videos forever ago, it just made sense, right? She was like a part of our family. Back then, people were creating Instagram accounts for their dogs and for like just everything, especially if you're like in the creator space. So everybody was always so energetic and such a cute, fun dance that it just became a landing page to like put her dance stuff and her family stuff in. And we see it as a major blessing that it's grown to what it is and the opportunities that it's brought her and her love for dance. We know that with her Instagram, with her platform, that she'll be able to do what she loves for the rest of her life, which is just a tremendous blessing, especially if in our eyes, we can raise her well to where she loves the Lord and she can use her platform to encourage others to do the same, which is the biggest thing. I know that I look up to people, and people that I look up to who are maybe athletes or whatever it is, whenever they share their faith, it's like that is the most encouraging thing. Yeah. So if everybody can be this role model in this space who does have a following, we hopefully teach her how to steward it well and
whatever, but then she can point people to the Lord through it. Like that's what excites us, right? Yeah. And then if through it opportunities and fun stuff comes along, then that's great as well. But that's kind of the perspective with Everly's Instagram.
Yeah.
The other kids...
you deleted all the other kids' Instagrams.
The other kids, again, naturally, as we kind of were growing our family in the space, we created an Instagram for each of the kids as they were born, just kind of post cute baby pictures.
Yeah, and really just to like have as like baby books, because I didn't make the kids baby books, so I feel like it was like my baby book for them to like look back on.
Yeah, and I know a lot of other families have done that.
Yeah.
We have friends who've done it, but then again, as our perspective on things changed, we started posting less and less, and we started thinking about things, and we're just like, we never post on this, and it's unnecessary, so
yeah,
we deleted them because we didn't see a purpose that was being served. Where the Everlys we really see at this point in our life, it would be we felt like it would be wrong to take that from her.
Yeah.
So that just kind of goes into a whole as why we're posting less. I know that some people are even just like entirely anti showing their kids on certain things, and it's not something that we talk about a lot, not something that we feel super passionate about personally. It's not something that we ultimately disagree with. I think that each family has their own way of doing things. We feel like God puts certain people in spotlights, and I think that ultimately showing a happy, healthy, imperfect family who loves God is our goal and is our mission.
Yeah.
So, I can't get too into the weeds with that, but that's ultimately how we feel. But it also means that, it's more so me and Savannah being the focus, but that our kids are the entirety of our life. Like without our kids.
Like without our kids, I just feel like I would just not do anything.
Some people are great influencers. Some people are really great influencers, and they're like making like these montages in the kitchen or like in the gym or like out in the yard building things, like whatever it is. It's like we're a husband and wife and a mom and dad.
Whatever I'm doing them, and then my kids are with me on me while I'm doing it.
We aren't talented.
Yeah, because again, too, it just goes back to we don't hire help.
Yeah, and it's funny. I keep this really brief. I remember I had a memory before I even got a following that there's this guy. And I think I've told this story before. There's this guy who was several years older than me who I looked up to, and he got married to this beautiful girl, and they had a kid. And his entire Instagram, he didn't have a single picture of himself. It was all his wife and his kid. And I remember thinking like, that is so cool. Like, I was like, this is like back in the day when everyone was like posting selfies of like just themselves and whatever else. And I was thinking like, this guy's so obsessed with his wife and his kid that like that's what he's known for.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, that's what I want to be.
That's cute.
So then it kind of has become that, but then people can look at that in a bad light, which again, to each their own, and I understand every perspective. But so we just don't post as much, but we that doesn't mean that we aren't working on some fun things.
Yeah.
I wanted to close this with what we are doing. Even though we're not posting as much, we're still going to continue to post. And obviously, if you guys follow us on Instagram, you see that we're more active on there. Follow us on Instagram if you don't follow us on Instagram, because we're more active on there.
But we have two really big things that are happening right now.
One,
things that we've never done before, and that we think could just be really awesome. They're actually not fighting. They're being silly and laughing at each other. So this
silly,
is good.
Happy noises.
This is good.
But yeah, it's two things that we've been working on for, ultimately, I would almost say like 2 years in the works.
Yeah.
Like 2 years in the works. Like 2 years ago, we kind of made the decision like, okay, we're going to do less. Maybe even 3 years ago. It's like, okay, we're going to start doing less and less and less. And we're going to look for bigger opportunities that we feel like are open doors from God. Mm-hmm. And 2 are now in our laps. And I think that one is we're going to release in September and one in October. The launches of these in September and October.
They're two totally different things.
Totally different things, catering to different areas of our audience. But I think that things that we are very excited about.
Two things that we're actually really passionate about too.
Very passionate about. And
including
we think that you guys will love and be passionate about too. Mm-hmm. So we're very excited for that. So just so you guys know, like we're not just like... done
we're not
with
just being boring.
We're not just done with social media. We're not doing anything. We think that these things could be bigger than anything that we've ever done.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that. Like I think that these things that like you guys will be really excited about, because like, oh yeah, we know Cole and Savannah, and like this is cool, but then you guys see what it is. Like, wow, this is bigger than Cole and Savannah.
Yeah.
So that we're really excited.
Yeah.
And we got some awesome people who've helped us along the way. Like this isn't like an us thing. Like there's like a team building these things out that are like, it's like way beyond and way bigger than us. And But that's all for now. We can't really say too much more, but
gotta go get the kids now.
Yeah, and we gotta
then we have to go on a date.
Yeah, we're gonna get sushi.
I'm so excited.
We have to go on a date, because if we don't, we're gonna get divorced.
Okay.
Are we gonna get divorced?
No.
No?
We'll talk about it later.
What'd you say?
We'll talk about it later.
Talk about what later?
Nothing.
Alright. I'm in this off.